Support for Steppin' Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
Welcome to Steppin' Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Hey, Miss Poppy.
Hello, Peggy.
Hello. Ian McNulty, food writer for the Times-Picayune, New Orleans Advocate. Hi, Ian. Hello, dear.
Hi.
Hey. Alan Smason of TheaterCriticism.com and the Crescent City Jewish News. Hey, Alan. And we welcome Sophie Harris-Vorhoff, Executive Director of the Friends of Lafitte Greenway, with lots of greenery behind her. Hello, Sophie. Hi.
Hi, Peggy.
And Jeff Beachbum Berry, author, historian of Tiki culture, and the owner of Latitude 29, the Tiki restaurant and bar in the Quarter. Welcome, Jeff. Hello. And Poppy,
Hello.
you have scoop for those of us who are oyster lovers.
Absolutely. You know, since the pandemic, there have been a lot of people willing to bring things to your door for the first time, but this is a real first. There is a new business owned by a gentleman who is an oyster farmer. His name is Nathan Herring. The name of his business is Brightside Oysters. And he's down in Grand Isle, oyster farming. Now do you see those beautiful oysters? These are oysters that have never touched a muddy bottom before. And if you did a side-by-side taste test, you would not believe the difference. So he harvests these oysters from his little farm down at Grand Isle, and he delivers to the greater New Orleans area. There's Nathan himself delivering the oysters. The minimum order is just 2 dozen. His oysters are $1 each, so he'll show up at your door for 24 oysters. And you order by Wednesday evening for delivery on Friday or Saturday. And really, it would be great to order for Christmas, help this guy out. He lost over 60% of his gear and oysters in Hurricane Zeta, and he's really doing a good job. The oysters are divine, so have them come to your door.
Now, you have to shuck them. Okay?
Yes, you do have to shuck
just
them. He
FYI.
doesn't shuck for $1,
Right.
Anyway. And now I've got some more holiday happiness. And, you know, Carmo, Dana Hahn down at Carmo, nobody does vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, pescatarian, keto, you name special diet, they got it handled down at Carmo. And he's got a fabulous catering menu starting at just $15 a person. And I just have to say, if you've never had one of those coffee, chocolate, chicory cookies, you've never lived. And he's doing a community outreach with a new holiday tradition starting tomorrow, a holiday flea bazaar from 10 to 4 p.m. He's also going to run his bazaar on the 12th and 19th of December. Look at that delicious ceviche. Oh, the food down there is so good. And of course, there'll be food, but there'll also be art, antiques, pottery, plants. It's sort of like garage sale meets art market meets street fest. There's going to be music out in the streets, and Dana assures me that it's all going to be very socially distanced in his great big gallery and outside. So it's a safe way for the community to come together, do some Christmas shopping, have some good things to go, like pies, cookies. Don't miss the holiday bazaar.
Okay, thank you so much, Poppy. And moving over to Ian. Ian, talk about the ultimate sweet stuff and talk about perseverance, too, huh?
Peggy, you know, I'm sure I've mentioned it on the show before, but for all the heartache that there is in the restaurant business, the hospitality business, the food business in general around New Orleans through this pandemic, there's a lot of heart, too. And I found another great example of that at Loretta's Authentic Pralines. This is a bakery and praline shop and cafe in Faubourg Marigny. And a lot of people know Loretta Harrison. There she is. Great picture by Chris Granger. A lot of people know Loretta from Jazz Fest. She's been a vendor there since the 1980s, selling her pralines and much more, little pies and everything else, all these great Creole treats. It's a family business that she's built over the years. And like a lot of businesses in New Orleans, she's struggling. They didn't have the festivals this year. Her cafe that she runs in the Marigny is closed. But yet, when I visited, the kitchen was humming. Here's sweet potatoes being cooked up the old-fashioned way for some of those sweet potato pies. And what's keeping them in business, Peggy, is some orders that they get through the door. People order special orders and then come pick them up at the bakery, but also shipping. This is something that has grown from a niche for a lot of businesses into an absolute lifeline, and Loretta's is a great example of that. There are people all over the country, expats, exiles, just people who care about New Orleans and love New Orleans flavors and New Orleans restaurant culture, who are cut off from their fix. They haven't had their visits to New Orleans, so they're calling up places like Loretta's and seeing what's available and having those goodies shipped to them. This takes the form of gumbo, muffaladas, cocktail mixers, you name it. I mean, there's people on your shopping list. There are ways to support them like this. If there's a craving out there somewhere coast to coast, there are businesses that will connect you. But with Loretta's, what we found was just this business that's not just hanging in there. I mean, I know times are hard for them, but they're showing so much heart while they're doing it. This beautiful picture here by Chris Granger. When we shot that, Miss Loretta said, "I wear my work on me. I wear my work on me." That's the flower. Just amazing to spend a little time with that woman and come away recharged. And let me tell you, those pralines, those pies, just fantastic. You can be across town or coast to coast. Places like Loretta's will get them to you.
And she's been at it a long time. She's been really much a part of the culinary scene, isn't she?
Over 40 years, yeah. She left her job at LSU Medical Library to start her own business with a praline recipe handed down by her grandmother from growing up down in Kloski, down in the marshes and the bayous, and has made a big difference for New Orleans cuisine, I think.
What a good story. Thank you so much. And over to Alan, and of course, talking about one of your favorite topics. I know you love the victory bells, and we love them.
And you know what? At this time of year, Peggy, holiday season, what's not to love about Santa Claus, too? It's all happening at the Stage Door Canteen. While stage canteen shows are a bit problematic during this current pandemic, there's a will and a way with Cookies with Santa and the Bells. That's starting this weekend, and it's running all the way up to just before Christmas on Sunday, December the 20th. There are going to be 2 sets of bells who will appear socially distanced virtually, and they'll have holiday performances and a live socially distanced visit with Santa. And he'll be on hand to provide gifts for the kids. I believe it's a special holiday bear that they'll be getting. Kids 2 and younger get in free. And let's face it, with the stores locked down, no more Mr. Bingle. Traditional ways for visiting with Santa are limited. So it's $50 a person. It's a little bit pricey, but remember, the kids have really had a hard time this year. And I would say, why not give them a little bit of holiday joy? They've had such a hard time, and it's probably not a bad idea. Check out the World War II Museum and their website for the various show times, which, again, are going to be coming up in the next few weeks, and I hope that you'll take advantage of that. And for those who are interested in learning a little bit more about the bells and this particular show, Erica Jensen will be the guest on my NOLA Theater talk show right after Steppin' Out. And again, it'll be archived, so if you want to go check that out. Eric, of course, is the entertainment director over at BB Stage Door Canteen, and we hope to have some of the bells as well, though we're not quite sure which ones yet. Meanwhile, we already told you about Ricky Graham's Meemaw's Christmas Party and the company over at Rivertown Theaters in Canada. Well, we didn't mention that there have been some additional performances for Charlie Brown Christmas. Again, for the kids, it's now been extended to December the 22nd. So if you didn't get in early, go in now and check out that holiday classic. And then for some holiday classical music, the Louisiana Philharmonic Orchestra has already begun what they call the 12 Days of the LPO. They continue their own series of concerts, some involving smaller chamber pieces and some free concerts at Storyland at City Park. All you do is pay for your admission to Storyland, and you get to have a concert for free. There's an opportunity to see some virtual performances as well. Check it all out at lpomusic.com. That's their website.
All right, thank you so much. And over to Sophie. And Sophie, if you would please set up for the uninitiated, what is the Lafitte Greenway and roughly where it is?
Yeah, the Lafitte Greenway is a 2.5 mile bike path, park, linear park running from the edge of the French Quarter right at Basin Street through Tremé Mid-City, right by Bayou St. John, all the way to past Carrollton Avenue. So it connects neighborhoods throughout the city. And it opened 5 years ago. We're celebrating the 5-year anniversary of the Greenway this fall, and are very excited about that, to see how it has continued to grow over these years.
Now, was this is a fairly wide swath of land? This was originally, was it the Carondelet Canal? Refresh my
That's
memory.
right.
Okay.
This
A
space
long
was
time ago.
originally the Carondelet Canal, built in the late 1700s. So really connecting from Bayou St. John, the natural waterway, to the French Quarter. It has this rich history as a transportation corridor, first for industry as that canal. Later, a railroad was built alongside it, and the canal was filled in, so it had this sort of industrial character. And now it's a 21st century transportation corridor, a bike path, a walking path, a space for community and people to connect with nature, connect to each other, experience the outdoors, health and wellness, and arts and culture.
Now, mostly Mid-City, and the Mid-City neighborhood. And what I'm excited about is this new space. Many of us remember going to get our brake tag at what used to be Jefferson Davis, now Norman Francis Parkway, right there by the bayou. But a lot's going to be happening in that space. Tell us about that.
That's right, Peggy. So this space was a space for cars. It was the driveway to the old brake tag station. And this year, the city and Nord transformed that brake tag station into a community pavilion, a space that's going to be a gathering space when we're allowed to, come back together. Right. We have now been, Friends of Lafitte Greenway, in partnership with Nord and the city, has transformed the space right where the bayou and the Greenway meet from a place for cars to a place for people. So this is the new Greenway
is
Plaza.
Going in there, isn't it? See, the farmers market's
That's
about to
right.
go
The
there,
Crescent City
Which used to be
Farmers
at the
Market that
can.
had been operated over at the American Can Company on Thursday evenings is moving to this space where there'll be easier access and more space for vendors.
Now, I know that you're especially excited this time of the year for Supernova. Tell us about Supernova.
So Supernova is a light-based art exhibit that's happening on the Greenway starting next Wednesday. So it's Wednesdays through Sunday evenings. It's a free exhibit to celebrate the Greenway's 5th birthday. And it's also sort of a new COVID-safe spin on the Greenway Soiree, which is Friends of Lafitte Greenway's biggest fundraiser of the year. Supernova is in partnership with Lunafet. So we will be featuring a permanent piece of art, a brand new permanent, iconic piece by artist Will Nemetoff, the Iris of Memory. This is a 17-foot tall iris. It's in honor of Debbie Vorhoff, and it's really spectacular.
Yeah, you have a personal connection. You have a personal connection.
I do. This is Debbie is my mother-in-law, my husband's mother, and the family made a really incredibly generous gift to start this, which Arts Council contributed, the city, and now we have this piece that's really anchoring the space that allows folks to remember, loved ones, to connect with the community around it. I am thrilled because I'm also a Greenway neighbor, so I'm going to be out here doing my farmers market shopping and enjoying lots of things in the years ahead.
And that's right by the bayou, too. As we should point that out. That's by that area you talked about.
Exactly. Okay. And so Supernova will also feature temporary exhibits by lots of artists. And it's also a way to support the local businesses that make the Greenway thrive year in, year out. So people are invited, while it's free to attend Supernova, you can make a contribution and get these doubluminaries, which you can exchange for tons of fantastic perks at businesses along the Greenway and throughout the city.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. I'm so glad you could be with us. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much, Peggy.
And we're going to pop it over to Poppy to introduce our culinary guest here.
Well, we have a very special guest. As a matter of fact, Imbibe magazine named Jeff Beachbum Berry one of the 25 most influential cocktail personalities of the last century. So congrats on all that. And Jeff, welcome. Today, you're from the North Pole, I understand. Sipping Santa.
Aloha, Poppy, and Peggy, and everybody. Yes, we're here in Latitude 29, and what we do every year for the last 5 years is Sippin' Santa's Surf Shack, where we mash up holiday decor and tiki decor. So you get your Christmas vacation and your tropical winter vacation all in the same place. It's also a mashup of flavors. We take things that are normally associated with the holidays, like clove, nutmeg, cranberry, things like that. And then we infuse them into the kind of tropical drinks we do here. And I'm going to make one of those for you right now. It's one of the perennial favorites we have here called the Sippin' Santa. And it comes in its own little special mug. All of our drinks for the Surf Shack have special mugs. Like we have a Blitzen bowl, which is serving as my ice tray right now, and we have a shot glass for the Rum Rum Rudolph. And anyway, Sippin' Santa. So this is a mixture of a Demerara rum from Guyana. I'm just going to pour that right in there. And then a little Amaro, a little Italian aperitivo to add a little bitterness to it. And then here's where the Christmas comes in, a little nutmeg and ginger syrup combination that we make here. And lastly, to keep it tropical, our citrus mix of lemon juice and fresh orange juice. And we're going to make this the way they've made drinks in the tropics for the last 200 years. Before there were cocktail shakers and blenders, we are going to swizzle it. We take our bois lele, or swizzle stick from Martinique, and we just go up and down, side to side, swizzle it just a little bit, get it nice and cold. So this is how they did it. It's basically a manually operated blender. You have to be a Marvel superhero to do this the way an electric blender does it. Got that nice and cold. A little more ice. And then we do our special Sippin' Santa garnish, our surfboard. And a little bit up, a little bit more ice. And here we go. Cheers.
Beautiful. Now, Jeff, we should also point out at Latitude 29, there are wonderful things to eat as well with a tiki theme, and you're in the Bienville house. So there you are on the 300 block of Decatur. Very convenient, but it's a mix. Well, I love the decoration. So the rest of the place is all decorated like that too?
No, it's even more intense. This is the dude portion that we gave for you tonight.
That's great. And we need to also brag on Jeff, because you're the author of numerous books about tiki, with tiki drinks and recipes and the tiki culture too. Quite a few. I was looking you up. It's like, man, he just keeps on going and keeps on going. But that's great. How did you get interested in the tiki?
Nobody else really wanted the job.
Is that it? How did you get interested in the tiki culture?
My parents loved Chinese food, being from New York. That was the food of our people. So they would take me when I was a kid to Chinese restaurants, which had all gone tiki. I'm talking about when snakes walked and dinosaurs still ruled the earth.
Just a few years ago, right?
And that was sort of the height of the old school trend. And these places were decorated amazingly with tropical decor, and that sort of made me fall in love with the South Pacific. And when I got old enough to drink, I wanted to go to these places, and they were all disappearing. A case in point, you guys had the Bali High at the beach here on Lake Pontchartrain, which was a huge tiki temple, disappeared in the 70s. So, R.I.P. When I found out that these places were all disappearing and I wanted to drink these drinks, I realized I'd have to make them myself, because there was no other way to do it. And that's what set me on this path of trying to find the recipe.
Well, great. Well, we're so glad that you have made New Orleans your home and fancied up the tiki culture.
Not as glad as I am. This is the place.
Well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Welcome. Glad you could be with us. And
Cheers.
back over to
Happy to
Ian
be
with
here.
some scoop as we look ahead to the new year.
Peggy, for as much as changed in the restaurant scene and dining out and how we pursue restaurants through this year, one thing that it hasn't is New Orleans' interest in what's coming up next, and also the passion of our restaurant people to pursue new projects. And two new examples of this have really turned some heads and got people excited for what's to come in the next year. One is Seafood Sally's. This is going to be a new restaurant on Oak Street from the same couple that has run for many years now, Margie's Grill on Broad Street, or as they call it over there, the Promenade. Margie's Grill is one of those game changer restaurants. It seems like a simple concept, but when you go, it all fits together perfectly. It's a little Southeast Asia meets Southeast Louisiana. Not surprisingly, they've been running out some more seafood specials at the restaurant, and this is all in preparation for their new restaurant, Seafood Sally's. You're going to find oysters like this little seasonal vinaigrette on top of it. You're going to find fried seafood, lots of boiled seafood, and because it's them, a little bit of that Southeast Asia influence too. Don't
And will
think
they
you're not
keep
going to
the
get
other
some.
restaurant open? Are they going to keep the other restaurant open, or are they going to move into just Seafood Sally's?
This will be their second restaurant.
Oh, okay.
And this is on Oak
Oh.
Street, just down the street from the Maple Leaf,
Okay.
formerly La Casita. The other one I wanted to mention is Leo's Bread. Leo's Bread got its start as a pop-up and has made a name for itself across town, supplying restaurants and also as a vendor at the Crescent City Farmers Market. Look at that bagel. That's the way you do it. About a 1-to-2 ratio of cream cheese with the bagel there. That's the way I like it anyway. But this is Kate Heller's bakery. She's run it on her own for a few years now, makes beautiful loaves, crusty loaves of semolina bread, of these country breads, just fantastic. Well, Leo's Bread is going to open its own storefront for the very first time. It's going to be on Bell Street, which is adjacent to Bayou Road, near that cluster of businesses there by Bayou Road. Pagoda Cafe is directly across the street, which coincidentally is where Kate Heller had her first pop-ups. So look for that to open sometime this winter, perhaps as soon as January. It'll be a production bakery with a store up front for sandwiches, for salads, for juices and coffees, and of course, those bagels. So plenty to look forward to after the new year to tempt any resolution you may be clinging to.
Okay. Thank you so much. And back over to Alan. And I know that you wanted to talk a little bit about our wonderful actress, Carol Sutton.
Yeah, well, we wanted to wish Carol, first off, the very best wishes, a belated happy birthday as of yesterday. But it was revealed over social media that she's been hospitalized and is fighting COVID right now. And so we know she has great strength and tenacity. We know we expect her to come back because she is one of our greatest actors. But I want everybody to please say a little prayer for Carol for her recovery and hopefully get back on the right path. And hopefully we'll have her back performing as she wants to so much for all of the people that love her. So meanwhile, I wanted to mention that Leslie Castet, the Queen of New Orleans Cabaret, is my guest next Monday on my show that I mentioned, the NOLA Theater Talk Show. And she's going to be talking about her virtual show for Le Petit called Crazy World with accompanist Jesse Reeks on piano. For the past few seasons, you may remember, we've been witness to Leslie and Ian Hawke's Mandatory Merriment, which was the musical that she did all set in New Orleans, et cetera, an original piece, which she directed. We'll be talking about those past shows and perhaps some more. So keep that in mind. Also, I wanted to remind many of the fans of Anne Mahoney Kadar, they'll be happy to hear that she is going to be featured in an upcoming movie. You may remember she was in The Walking Dead. She'll be returning to cable TV on Saturday, November the 19th with Stolen in Plain Sight on the Lifetime movie network. Of course, you may remember she played Gladys Presley, Elvis Presley's mother, as well. Right there, you can see her. Anne, again, is an exciting actress, and we'll be talking and discussing some of her past, and also including some other memorable performances, such as in Bad Moms, which was filmed here. Again, that's the next Friday NOLA Theater Talk Show on December the 11th, and you can see it on the Facebook group, NOLA Theater Folk Facebook group, the theatercriticism.com Facebook page, and on the YouTube channel. Meanwhile, Seth Rudetsky's guest this week, coming up on Sunday evening, is the amazing Anna Gasteyer, who has just an amazing voice. She's, of course, well known for her work on Saturday Night Live, but she is really a great comedic actress as well as a wonderful singer. She's enjoyed some Broadway credits in the past, so keep that in mind. And check out the show this coming Sunday night, if you can, or the Monday rebroadcast. Next week's guest, by the way, is going to be the original genie from Disney's Aladdin. That's none other than James Monroe Iglehart, the present Thomas Jefferson Lafayette in Hamilton. He will be the guest. And by the way, just so you'll know, Iglehart also plays Santa Claus in the original online musical I've been mentioning, The Nice List, along with several big Broadway stars like Telly Long. It's a holiday gift that streams into your homes for free. It's really perfect for the little ones. Check it out on YouTube. Just type in The Nice List, and there you go.
All right. Thank you so much, Alan. And now time for our picks of the week. Poppy.
All kinds of things going on down at Brennan's. They're having a cocktail class on Thursdays for just $25. This will happen the 10th and the 17th with old fashions, brandy milk punch. There's free parking at the Royal Orleans. There's the bubbly special happy hour beforehand. There's a truffle dinner that night. But Peggy, yesterday we learned Monday, December 21st, it's going to snow in the patio. 2 seatings at Brennan's that day. Call for reservations tonight. Don't wait. It's going to sell out quick.
Thank you. Ian.
Big news recently was WYES on Bienville Street. WYES restaurant is going up for sale. It's for sale. The longtime owners are looking to retire. I bring it up here because it is still very much open, and I've heard from too many people who said WYES is closing. Well, they didn't quite get the news right there. WYES is still open. It is for sale, but they intend to keep it open at least through as long as they own it. And also, this is not related to WYES by the track. Another thing I've heard a lot since this news broke, different restaurants, they're both open. They would both love to see.
Okay, thank you. Alan.
Well, there are 2 picks this week, and they all have sort of a Jewish theme. First off, Israeli-born pianist and American playwright Israela Margalit has penned Crossroads, 6 plays, some of them very short, about love, pain, passion, and joy. The show premiered last night. It'll repeat on Sunday afternoon for free, and it'll come up again towards Christmas. But you need to sign up at eventbrite.com if you want to see it. And also coming up around the same time on Sunday, also for free, is the pre-Hanukkah global celebration put on by the American Friends of the Israel Philharmonic Orchestra. It's a pre-recorded virtual event. It includes soundtrack composer Hans Zimmer and Bette Midler and many other stars. It's going to also be on that Sunday. Check it out, and you'll hear some beautiful music by the Israel Philharmonic, including some Beethoven. I'll see you at the theater.
Thank you so much. And now my picks, artist Brenda Dell will be showing her work starting tomorrow. That's at Ariadante Contemporary Crafts Gallery. Dell often focuses on racehorses. They're just beautiful. The gallery will be open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Many Julia Street galleries will have openings that day. And I love her work. I love her work. Ugh. The Photo Alliance of New Orleans, an organization of local photographers, will be presenting open-air digital exhibits around town. That's starting Wednesday evening. And you can go to photonola.org for more details about that. Showing you that. And let me show you Roulaison Distillery. Oh my goodness, located on South Broad in the Broadmoor neighborhood. They're featuring their gift boxes, these beautiful gift boxes that contain their various small batch rums, along with some very clever local products such as cocktail syrups and bitters. One of them is their cacao rum liqueur with Creole pecan orgeat and coconut water. Looks great. You can pre-order the boxes or go to the distillery and they'll have some on hand. Go to shoproulaison.com. And roulaison, by the way, is Creole French for sugarcane harvest. And finally, New Orleans jewelry designer Patrice McMurray will be presenting her latest creation at local art shows in the next few weeks, including Deutsches Haus tomorrow and City Park's Art Market on the Great Lawn on Sunday. Her website is patrice.com. And thank you all so much. Thank you. It's great to see you all. Welcome to our show for those for the first time. And thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.
Support for Steppin Out comes in part from the Kristovich family in honor of Mary Lou and Bill Kristovich. This program is sponsored in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support the arts and culture in the greater New Orleans area.